Blaney. Now,
Yeah.
Blaney ended up with a top 10 car, but because of the late caution, ended up second. And
Yep.
he was that close. If he could have gotten just a little bit closer to Byron, then he would have done anything he could have to win that race. Because Larson was doing okay, getting close to Byron, but you knew there was only so much he could do. They're teammates, even though Larson's done it before to his teammates. But yeah, Blaney almost was able to steal that race based on that. That would have been really theft if he would have been able to steal that race.
It would have been, and I look at and I wonder this, and it's one of those things like I'm not going to make a story out of it because it's speculating, but if that was anybody but William Byron, he's battling there, and I should say other than Byron, Cindric, or Logano, a teammate, would he have moved them? Because he was side by side, and the reason I say this about Byron is William Byron's girlfriend is Ryan Blaney's sister.
Aha.
So I was wondering if I could see, because at first I'm like, oh, he's going to move him. We all picked him, and he's going to get the win. Because he needed a win, and we talked about the aggression of Blaney and that would have been his moment.
Yeah.
That, hey, you know what? I'm sick of losing. I got this winless streak.
Absolutely.
I'm sending you off into turn one. I'm going to punt you that way, and I'm going to go win. Because he could have. But I don't think you can do it to your sister's boyfriend. Longtime boyfriend. They've been dating a while. So I don't think that would probably go over well.
Well, it looked like, I don't know, like when I saw him get close, honestly, I wasn't really and then when Byron started to pull away again, I wasn't really thinking you ruined your chance. I was just guessing that now I'm close to him. I think I can pass him, or I'm there. I don't have to put him into the wall just yet.
No.
And I think what my guess is he thought Byron was not going to pull away that quickly.
No.
And that's what happened because Byron had a better car than he did.
He did, and that's where I look at, and unfortunately, that's what NASCAR has become. That's why the Joe Logano's and the Kyle Bushes and Hamlins are successful. Is they're not afraid to move you. They know. Blaney should have been told that dude bled over 60 laps and won the first stage. He's got a better car than you.
Yeah. If you even get close to him, yeah,
you've got to unfortunately rough him up to win your race.
Yep.
You're not going to beat him on speed. And in the old days, that was the way that people raced. They raced with respect. This new NASCAR, you don't see that a lot. So I applaud Blaney for racing them clean. I do. That was a pure finish. But I think we've seen more times than not drivers are just going to run through you and I would have thought Blaney's riding. He hasn't won since the 2021 regular season finale, and you're there, and we know how much it stung him last year there to let Logano win so he can win the championship. You're there again, and it's like, man, two situations you can't move the driver to win, and you never know what the rest of the season can hold.
Sure.
But if he goes winless again, those 5 playoff points could have helped him.
Well, I think that if it was November, that
he
would
would
have
have
been different.
Yeah.
And I also think that maybe if he was having a really good day,
true,
maybe he would have felt like, no, I'm winning this race.
Yep.
Instead of, he hadn't even been up there all day. And again, but this is what we've talked about with Blaney too. I'm not trying to get him off the hook, but the fact is that he's just not built that way yet.
No.
And
he's a nice guy. He's almost, unfortunately, his nice personality. He's a great guy. Kind of sometimes doesn't clash.
Yeah, you almost get the feeling like something has to happen to him on the race on the somewhere that somebody just does something.
Somebody's got it wrong.
Like a Bubba Wallace, Kyle Larson situation.
Well, we talked about this. I remember one of the first years I was on this show was when Chase Elliott and Hamlin got into their spat at Martinsville in that playoff race. And remember, we talked then, when is Chase going to close this out? When is Chase ever since that moment, if you look at people that have been more spats than anybody other than Logano, is Chase Elliott.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to rough anybody up anymore. Logano's that way. And you look at the champions of this sport, Kyle Busch has been that way. You just go right there since 2019. You got Kyle, Chase, Logano. Larson's a nice guy, but I think we saw he will run people wrong.
Oh, yes.
That's the last 4 champions. If Blaney wants to take that next step, unfortunately, he's got – and maybe it's like you said, maybe somebody's got to
I think so, because he hasn't really – I don't recall many times where Ryan Blaney has had a great car and somebody's run him off the road. You know, it's like I think because maybe he's a good guy, nobody really gets.
Nobody runs him.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. So yeah, because we said the same thing also about Logano. I know it was before we were doing shows, but that was the deal with Logano back in those days. Man, was he a whipping boy?
Yeah,
man, we remember those days, especially when there was fighting.
Yeah.
Was he getting his
the
ass
guy
kicked?
get punched? Yeah, because people were overrunning him, and I feel like Larson gets. Not Larson. I was looking at Larson on my sheet. Blaney gets taken advantage of that way a little. I think Byron made that move to kind of like he's not going to wreck him. I can run him hard, and we've even seen that of Byron. I mean, Byron was aggressive with Kyle to get the lead, and that's the new NASCAR that it's got to be. And Blaney drives the old NASCAR, which unfortunately just isn't quite good enough anymore. And I think that's why it kind of opened my eyes. Well, no wonder Blaney's in this situation. No wonder he can get to the round of 8, but he can't get to the championship because in the round of 8, you've got to have the elbows out and your fist ready. And I don't want any of that. And it's going to take somebody to wrong him. I think so. The problem is he's got a lot of friends in that drive.
Too many.
Going to wrong him.
Yeah.
It's weird saying that, like, I need the nice guy to be mean, but I think that's the only thing holding it back now is that would have sent a message to the garage. Hey, I don't care. Let's be honest. Let's put it the other way around. If that's Tony Stewart, I'd recommend mom to win a race. Hey, I don't care he's dating my sister. Yeah. I'm going to wreck him, and I'm going to go win this race because I'm sick of losing. And that would have sent a message to everybody else, like, oh, this guy's not playing around. So I think it could send that message, too, the other way. Like, oh, yeah, Blaney's not going to wreck anybody for this win.
It's got to happen.
We'll see how that progresses. It's got to happen
Something's
sometime.
Got to happen.
This week isn't the one to do it, though, in Atlanta.
No.
I do not recommend wrecking somebody on purpose.
No, he can do it at one of those tracks that he's not very good at.